Blockchain revolution, exploring personal finance and a decentralized life. Imagine a world where you have full control over your money. A world where a bank is not a building, not a corporation, and not a government. A world where your savings cannot be frozen, confiscated, or devalued with the press of a single button. This world is no longer science fiction. It exists here and now, and its foundation is blockchain. Today, we are not just talking about technology. We are talking about a revolution in personal finance, about a new way of life, and about how decentralization is gradually changing the very concept of freedom. Chapter 1. Money as a tool of control. For thousands of years, money has been not only a medium of exchange, but also an instrument of power. Governments decided what could be considered money. Banks determined who was allowed to store and transfer value. Intermediaries charge fees for the mere right to participate in the system. Modern fiat currencies are based on trust. But trust is always a risk. Inflation, banking crises, frozen accounts, currency devaluations, restrictions on transfers. We see all of this regularly, and every such crisis reminds us of one thing. Your money does not truly belong to you as long as it remains inside a centralized system. Chapter 2. The emergence of blockchain, the point of no return. In 2008, an anonymous individual under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto published a document that changed the financial world forever. Bitcoin proposed a simple yet radical idea: money without intermediaries. Blockchain is a public ledger, a distributed network, an immutable history. The absence of a single controlling center. For the first time in human history, a system emerged in which trust was replaced by mathematics. Chapter 3. How blockchain transforms personal finance. 1. Self-custody of funds. In the traditional system, not your keys, not your money. In blockchain, you own the private key. You are the sole owner of your assets. No one can block your access. This changes human psychology. Responsibility returns to the individual. 2. Global transfers without borders. Blockchain knows no borders, weekends, sanctions, banking hours. A transfer from one country to another can take seconds or minutes, cost almost nothing, require no permission. This is especially important for freelancers, migrants, digital nomads, entrepreneurs. 3. Protection against inflation. Bitcoin's limited supply, 21 million coins, became a symbol of a new approach to money. Unlike fiat currencies, it cannot be endlessly printed. Its rules cannot be changed retroactively. It cannot be devalued by political decisions. For many people, cryptocurrencies have become a digital equivalent of gold. Chapter 4. Decentralized finance, DeFi. DeFi is not just a trend. It is an alternative financial system built on top of blockchain. In DeFi, loans are issued by code, interest rates are calculated by algorithms, access is open to anyone with an internet connection. What you can do in DeFi: borrow and lend without banks, earn interest without intermediaries, exchange assets directly, participate in protocol governance. All of this without passports, queues, or permissions. Chapter 5. A new model of responsibility. Decentralization is not only freedom, it is also responsibility. Mistakes here cannot be reversed, cannot be refunded, cannot be fixed by customer support. A lost key means lost funds. A wrong transaction means forever. That is why blockchain promotes financial literacy, teaches forward thinking, changes how we perceive risk. Chapter 6. A decentralized life. Blockchain goes beyond finance. It affects digital identity, voting systems, copyright, social networks, community governance. A new concept emerges: the sovereign individual. A person who owns their data, decides what to share, and with whom does not depend on platforms. Chapter 7. DAOs, the future of governance. DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations, represent a new form of collective decision-making. Without directors' bureaucracy, closed-door agreements. Everything is transparent, recorded on the blockchain, governed by voting today. DEOs already manage billions of dollars investment funds, digital communities. Chapter 8. Risks and Illusions. We must be honest. Blockchain is not a utopia. There are scammers, frauds, volatility, technical complexity. Decentralization does not eliminate human greed or fear. It only removes intermediaries. Blockchain is not about quick money. It is about long-term transformation. We are standing at the threshold of an era where finance becomes personal, power is distributed. Freedom requires responsibility. This is not a revolution of technology. This is a revolution of mindset. Chapter 9. Web3, the internet owned by users. To understand the scale of change, we must understand what Web3 is and why it is called a new version of the internet. Web 1, the era of reading early websites, was static. The user was a passive observer. Web 2, the era of platforms, social networks, marketplaces, video platforms. Users create the content, but corporations control it. Your data is sold, analyzed, used against you. Web 3, the era of ownership. Web 3 is built on blockchain and offers a fundamentally different approach. You own your accounts, you control your data, you can monetize participation. Your wallet becomes your login, your passport, your bank account, all without a central authority. Chapter 10. NFTs, not images, but digital rights. NFTs are often criticized and mocked. But the problem is not the technology, it is superficial understanding. NFTs are proof of ownership, a digital certificate, a unique token. Real-world applications of NFTs include music and royalties, tickets and access licenses, in-game assets, documents and credentials. NFTs allow creators to earn directly, receive resale royalties, remain independent of platforms. This changes the creative economy. Chapter 11. Metaverses and the digital economy. The metaverse is not a game and not just VR goggles. It is a new digital environment where an economy exists, ownership exists, jobs are created. In blockchain-based metaverses, land belongs to users, items can be traded, income is real. This is not the future. This is an emerging market. Chapter 12. The future of work and income. The traditional model, work, salary, taxes, pension, is breaking down. Blockchain offers alternatives. 1. A global labor market, work without borders, banks, or intermediaries. 2. Income through participation. You earn by participating in ecosystems, not only by working. 3. Passive models, staking, farming, royalties, DAO dividends. A person becomes an investor, a participant, a co-owner. Chapter 13. Blockchain and the state. For a long time, governments ignored cryptocurrencies. Then they tried to ban them. Now, they are adapting. We see central bank digital currencies, regulation of crypto exchanges, integration of blockchain into public services. But a conflict emerges. Centralization versus decentralization. CBDCs are controllable, programmable, restrictable. Cryptocurrencies are neutral, open, permissionless. This conflict will define the future of finance. Chapter 14. Ethics and the philosophy of decentralization. Blockchain raises fundamental questions. What is freedom? Where does responsibility begin and end? Is control necessary? Decentralization does not promise equality, does not guarantee success, does not protect from mistakes, but it gives something rare, the right to choose. Chapter 15. Practice, where beginners should start. If you are just entering the world of blockchain, education. Learn the fundamentals, not get-rich-quick schemes. Security, cold wallets, backups, caution. Small steps. Never invest more than you are willing to lose. Critical thinking. Do not believe promises of easy money. Chapter 16. Mistakes made by 90%. keeping funds on exchanges, chasing hype, ignoring security, lacking a strategy. Blockchain does not punish poverty, it punishes negligence. Chapter 17. The Future, Where We Are Headed. In the next 10-20 years, we will see mass adoption of digital assets, hybrid financial systems, new forms of ownership, digital citizenship. Blockchain will become as familiar as the internet, as invisible as electricity. Final conclusion. Blockchain is not about technology. It is about the redistribution of power from corporations, people, intermediaries, protocols, trust, code. It does not make the world perfect, but it makes it more honest. And the main question is not whether you will accept blockchain, but whether you will be a conscious participant or merely an observer. Chapter 18. The Psychology of Money in the Blockchain Era. To understand the real revolution, we must speak not about code, but about human psychology. Traditional money creates fear of loss, dependence on the system, an illusion of stability. Blockchain breaks these patterns when a person for the first time holds their own assets, takes responsibility for decisions, bears the consequences. An internal shift occurs. They stop being a user of the system and become a sovereign participant in the economy. Chapter 19. Why blockchain frightens power. Any decentralization threatens the center. Historically, the church controlled belief. States controlled money, corporations controlled data. Blockchain disrupts all three. It removes intermediaries, dismantles monopolies, makes rules transparent. Resistance is inevitable. Bans discrediting media manipulation. But technology cannot be switched off. One can only fall behind. Chapter 20. Blockchain and social inequality. People often say, crypto is for the rich. History shows otherwise. For billions of people, blockchain is their first bank account, their first access to investments, their first chance to preserve value. In countries with hyperinflation, weak banking systems, corruption, cryptocurrencies become a tool of survival, not speculation. Chapter 21. Decentralization versus censorship. Financial censorship is only the beginning. Blockchain already affects freedom of speech, access to information, independent media. Decentralized platforms cannot delete content, do not depend on servers, do not obey a single jurisdiction. This creates a new balance: freedom, responsibility. Chapter 22. Personal strategy. In a decentralized world, blockchain is not about getting rich quickly. It is a long game. A conscious strategy includes diversification, cold storage, risk awareness, patience. The most valuable asset here is not tokens, it is mindset. Chapter 23. The early exit mistake. Many people enter early, fail to understand the technology, exit too soon. History repeats itself. The internet, smartphones, social networks. The winners are not the fastest, but the most resilient. Chapter 24. How society will change. If blockchain realizes even part of its potential, we will see new forms of democracy, transparent budgets, global communities, digital nations. Borders will become less significant, more conditional, and personal identity will become global. Chapter 25. An existential choice. We live in a rare historical moment when the old system still works, the new one is already forming. And every individual makes a choice to study or to ignore, to participate or to deny, to take responsibility or to delegate it. Blockchain does not force, it offers. Final philosophical conclusion. Blockchain is a mirror. It does not make people more honest, smarter, fairer. It simply removes illusions and shows who you are, how you think, what you are ready for. Final words to the viewer. If you are still watching this video until the end, you are no longer a random viewer. You are part of a transitional generation, a generation that witnessed the old financial system, was the first to enter the new one, And perhaps it is you who will decide whether the decentralized world will be conscious, fair, mature, or chaotic. The future is not centralized. The future is not guaranteed. The future is decentralized, and it requires responsibility.